Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing a coaching session for Dylan on the channel, Dagon, the Janna. So thank y'all very much for tuning in. This is patch, near the end of patch 9.24b, so it's about a week before Season 10. If you like this coaching session, be sure to check out the rest on the channel. I have a playlist linked in the description. This is going to be number 200 something. So we've got over 200 coaching sessions you can flip through. I've got the thumbnail shows you what the champion is. So you can just flip through, watch some more of these if you want for free. If you would like a coaching session yourself, just stop by during a stream and just let me know. And email me the replay at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Okay, y'all got to run. He's dead. Just run. You probably you got to stand at the entrances. Either you need to stand at the entrance or just drop a ward there. I know it sucks to drop your early ward there, but it's either you got to stand there or you got to ward there, one or the other. But yeah, anyways, kind of got my spiel there, but just $25 or $20 if you're a channel member. You can be a member either through YouTube, through PayPal, or like a Twitch Prime sub. If you have a Twitch Prime, you can join for free, and I'll give you the discount for that. I don't currently stream on Twitch. We abandoned Twitch back in the summer. I only stream on YouTube. I am streaming right now also, so you might hear me talking to the chat. Starts every night around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goes till about 2 or 3 a.m. So we've pretty much abandoned Twitch, but if you do want to use your sub to help support the channel or to get that membership to get the discount on the coaching, then you can do that as well. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, good trading. Yeah, she's just straight running. Okay, that's enough though. If he taunts you, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah, that was a bit too much. I think getting the W and then like maybe 2 or 3 autos was probably alright, but you gotta remember that they're still gonna be stronger early. Okay, nice. I like the aggression though. Nice, there we go. Yeah, I guess exhaust against like Garen and Kha'Zix. It does help against Garen, but remember his ult's true damage, so it does not get reduced by exhaust. Okay. Nah, or he's gonna die. Maybe she gets out. She's cut off. Yeah, I think just push this. I think the play's gonna be dead by the time you get there. Echo looked like he wasn't really feeling it. So I would have just stayed. I think you missed a pretty good chunk of experience by moving. Usually I would try to... this is gold, for people asking in chat, I'm pretty sure. So usually I would advocate rotating to help the Kha'Zix, or to help the Echo, but it looked like Kha'Zix wasn't going for the red right there, and Echo didn't really want to get him. So... I probably would have just pushed in and then maybe rotate and get him out of your jungle after you've already pushed in right there. I don't know what you leveled up second, but after you get that kill when you turned level 2, I probably would have just gotten Tornado and used the Tornado to push. Because if you fully charge the Tornado and just run it through there, it actually does decent damage early game. Okay. So nobody... or the Shin has Ignite, but nothing else is there. Have I ever tried playing with the sound off? Yeah, I used to do that at one point. It used to help me focus a little bit, but there are certain things where sound cues are actually pretty important to hear. And I do like the build. For people that are watching, I have been advocating this like Guardian build on Janna. Check out my tier list. If you're watching this in the future, that may not be the case if the runes or the items or kind of the meta has changed around. But I do like Guardian right now. Just to kind of play for the early mid game, it just scales a lot better than Aerie does in a lot of the types of like faster burst fights that we're having. I don't know about bone plating. I think bone plating's overrated, especially against something like Ashe, where she's probably going to poke you and trigger it with, because she has such long auto attack range and she's got W. And they don't really have like a hard all-in. I mean, if Shin like flashes on you, I guess, but I would much rather have, if you're going to go Ardent early, I'd probably rather do Font of Life, so you can better distribute it to your team and have more flexibility with who you're shielding, so you don't always have to shield your AD carry to get the Ardent buff. Maybe you can shield your Echo if he needs it, and then you could still give the Ardent buff over to Vayne that way. So I'd probably go Font if you're... that target switch, though, I don't know about that. I think just let the Shin back up when he's low. Yeah, I guess you could do that if you want to mute, like, music or something. I usually keep the music fairly low, but... Yeah, I think just trade with it. Like, once he gets into that bush, I wouldn't turn it. Or I wouldn't, like, try to all-in that. Just because he could come out of that bush like that with a taunt. I wouldn't do second wind in this matchup. I think you could make an argument for, Oh, you might still have Font. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't... Yeah, I don't know. I was blanking out. There's on the wrong tree. So, yeah, you can still have Font. Yeah, I like conditioning more in that tree. Revitalized than bone plating. It doesn't come online until 10 minutes, but even if you don't get any extra armor or magic resist, it still gives you, just off of the base numbers, like 500 or 600 gold. So I would probably do conditioning. Second wind against poke, but they don't have that much poke. So. I think Kha'Zix might be behind you guys. I think they pinged him in there. I was reading the chat, but... I think he's in that area. You know, he's gonna come out of this try or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the Guardian, almost every enchanter is really good right now. And, like, once you get up to, like, Challenger and stuff like that, but enchanters start to fall off quite a bit. Like, Masters and Challenger anyways, but, you know, up there, like, lane, every point of laning damage matters a lot more. But I think that kind of playing for mid-game matters a little bit more with Janna and Soraka. I don't know. I've never been a really big advocate of, like, the Comet. I know that's, like, the really popular build with Janna, like the Comet, Scorch, you know, a heavy pressure lane. This wouldn't be a terrible lane for that, you know, because they don't have that much poke. But I just find that a lot of ADCs just don't sync up with that at lower elo brackets. They just won't help you harass, and then you just don't get a lot of value if they're not helping you in the early game, whereas the mid game is just kind of like guaranteed power with things like conditioning and Guardian. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like bone plating, it just gets almost no value by the end of the game. Like it is really good when it's good. You know, if it's up and Kha'Zix like all ends you, yeah, it's great. But I just feel like it just gets poked off so often by harass that you just don't get a lot of value out of it. Okay, Kha'Zix is around blue. Probably dead. No? Okay. Use your tornado to stop his jump. He's gonna jump. No, never mind. I would have thrown it there just in case he tried to jump and kamikaze for the Vayne. We're watching Dylan from chat. Storm Razor Vayne? Yeah, Janna, I mean, Janna's been floating around 53 or 54% for like 8 patches or something. They did a couple of adjustments. They changed her shield to give her shield basically like 2 to 4 seconds lower cooldown when she disrupts people. I think they did that on like 9, 15, or 16 or something. And that really brought her win rate up like 3%, but... And the meta has changed to more of a, there's just a lot of stuff that changed in the preseason. I did a whole video on it. That really favors enchanters. Like, junglers got weaker in the really early levels on ganks. The changes that you gotta run. Yeah, I would have bailed on this a lot earlier. So, like, you see Kha'Zix is like coming in, like they're all coming in from this ramp, and then Brand has the step on Orianna. He's gonna be able to get down there first. I gotta be watching that Brand, and as soon as Brand starts coming in, as soon as they start showing up here, I'd be looking to just walk and flash over this wall, probably. You have two options. Either you can run, like, right now, south, and get out. Like, right there, you run south and just forget it. Because Echo can jump over this wall to get away, in theory. Right? But you can't do that. So he can just get out of that wall. So you don't really have to protect Echo there. Like, it was a great tornado to stop them in the hallway here. Or on the ramp, whatever. But, I would have bailed. After you hit that tornado and the dragon's at like 10%, you know Echo's going to get it, I would have just run south. If you still overstayed a little bit there, I would have, after dragon fell, I would have run down here and flashed the wall. But I think the best one is just to go south once basically the dragon's secured and just get out of there. Just ping everybody back and run. Like the other, like the Vayne or whatever might have died there, but like one death for dragon's fine. And like I said, the Echo should be able to get out on his own. But you're going to lose that fight, and you're going to have to run. So you can either do it using your flash, or you can do it using not using your flash. That's how I would see it. Oh, God. Yeah, this Shin, like, the turns on this Shin. Getting brutal. Ooh. Okay, she just got a lot stronger. She got that BF sword. Yeah, that damage block on the Shin's pretty brutal. I probably would have gotten tier 2 boots a bit earlier. I mean, getting Ardent is nice. I mean, Aether Wisp does give you extra movement speed. That's kind of a toss-up. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Don't worry about Brand. I probably would have committed. See, if you had boots there, you could have run down and, like, hit him with the W to slow him down. Because Janna gets a lot of value out of movement speed. She gets extra damage on her W, but also she gives extra movement speed to her allies when they run towards her based on what her movement speed is. So I think this is gold, people asking. And we're going to go back to ranked after this on the stream. We're just doing one quick coaching session for Dylan. Ashe is huge right now. She's got to be up like 2,000 gold over your Vayne. Alright, Garen's there too. Y'all need to... Yeah, and there, you guys can't do anything with it. So you have to give that up. Dragon's coming up. We don't have the timers for it. It's more than 20 seconds, probably like 30 seconds away. I don't know if y'all can fight for it or not. If she dies, yeah, it's pretty much Dragon. Y'all need to run. You're already out of there. Okay, you got Ardent, so I would upgrade the boots. It's up to you. A lot of people really like Mobies on her. Mobies are kind of the standard. They're really good. I think you could make an argument for Ionians also, though. Since the ward item doesn't have CDR on it as of 9.23b, they might revert that and change that in the future, but... The CDR is pretty important on Janna. It's possible I overvalue the CDR, but... oof. You don't have your Tornado. I don't know about walking back into melee. I mean... I guess he's not quite in, like, literal one-shot, but he's pretty close to one-shot territory. Oh... Yeah, it's too close. I've noticed in several fights that you're getting a little too close. So that's something you want to keep track of. Like, you want to try to stay max range, especially once you see the Echo, like, stun thing coming in. You got to back up. Or, Echo's on your team. Let me see what happened here. Okay, Shin's coming in. Shin will... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Like, you know Shin's coming in there, Orianna's not in position to help, so it's probably going to be a 3v4. So I would just maybe shield the Echo, throw a Tornado, and run.
Blue team's turret.
I mean, this is going to be a kind of challenging game here. It's just like everybody on your team's losing. I mean, it's really like you kind of have to get back in through the Vayne, but maybe the Echo. But the Vayne's itemization is questionable. Because Vayne really wants a lot of attack speed and to get a lot of value out of her W, but Stormrazor has almost no attack speed on it, so... It's rough. Because the bonus damage on her bonus damage on her Q doesn't crit. Hey, thanks, Kiet. Not anymore, anyways. Yeah, y'all don't want to fight this. You're down a person. Don't get baited by the Shin again. I would not walk over here. It's too dangerous. Like, they could have all just been sitting in that bush. Stormrazor has 15%, I'm pretty sure. Like, they changed it. They nerfed the attack speed on it and gave it more, they gave it crit. I think it used to be 30. Bork is 40 AD, I think. I don't remember the attack speed on Bork. Bork might be 40 and then 25% attack speed. I think Vayne's healing the Garen. Yeah, she doesn't... I mean, it's just a bad itemization on her. Some of these early fights, if you had Ignite, though, you know, when you guys were fighting early on with the Shin and the Ashe, you would have had the kills. That's why I really don't like Exhaust that much. It's like, it is a little bit better for Kha'Zix later on, but it's on a fairly long cooldown. It doesn't do a lot early. No. Well, like, Vayne's standard build right now is Blazer and King, Gensu's, and then after that, you've got options. A common item after that might be, like, Phantom Dancer, typically. That's just a really good hybrid item that gives you, like, pretty strong damage and has a shield on it. And then after that, maybe Infinity Edge, but the game's probably over at that point. Usually it's Bort, Gensu's, and then situational. So, like, either Phantom Dancer or Quicksilver Sash. Okay, nice. Okay, you get some options. I mean, you are going to outscale this Shen. Vayne does scale really well. Echo does scale really well. Hopefully she's going to get more attack speed. Wit's End is not that great on Vayne anymore. It was really good on her with Gensu's. I mean, that was when Vayne was at her strongest last year. It was pre-Gensu nerf. That was when she was actually drawing bans. Was pre-Gensu nerf. Fort Gensu Wit's End. Before they nerfed Wit's End on ranged champions. Used to be, like, extremely strong on her. But I don't think it's as good these days. I don't remember exactly what they did to it. I think it, like, requires more, it's like takes longer to stack up or just does less damage in general. Something like that. Because Wits does have a lot of synergy with Gensu's, or it used to. But they nerfed that interaction twice. They nerfed the Wits End itself, and they nerfed the Gensu, so. I like Barrier. Like, if you're more worried about getting assassinated on Janna, I'd probably take Barrier. I don't mind if you want something defensive, Barrier. I think Barrier is better on Janna, or on Soraka. But it's still pretty good on Janna, because if you don't die, your team's probably going to win the team fight. It's not, like, as certain as it is with Soraka, but that would help you out against things like Brand also, whereas Exhaust, you're not going to get close enough to Brand, probably to exhaust him, so. Barrier's also on a lower cooldown, and Barrier also blocks true damage. No, what they did with Wits, I think, is they made the on-hit scaling or something like that. It used to be, I don't remember. I mean, I have to look after this game, but that's what they did. They made it, like, far worse, like, earlier on in the game. And they made it far worse for ranged champs. Which I liked Wits. The problem was it cheats the curve. It's a 2,400 gold item, and those types of items, when they're popular, get nerfed. Almost always. If it's a 2,400 gold item on a carry champ, like a main golden gold source champion, like, they're gonna nerf it. Because it just messes up the power spikes too much. Like, really, the lowest they're willing to go balance-wise is like Proto Belt at 2,500. If you see carry start to take anything lower than that, something's gonna get nerfed. So, like, the Diana with Ardent Sensor that's getting kind of popular right now is probably something about that interaction is going to get nerfed. Oh, they changed the gold. That's right. That was what it was. That was the huge thing. And they gave it, like, some more stats, but they made it 2,900 gold instead of 24. It used to be 2,400 gold. Had less stats, but it was way, way more cost efficient. Yeah, it used to do 42 flat damage on attack for 2,400 gold. In addition to the magic resist. I think it had flat magic resist too. But yeah, that was empowering like a lot of the Ginsu usual suspects. The what do you get now? Redemption? Okay, I think that makes sense. I would probably go Ionian because this game seems to be a lot more about team fights than rotations. Right now, like, y'all just need to be able to win some fights. And, like, Mobies are really only good if you get them very early game and, like... Okay, nice ult. If you get them very early game and really leverage the mobility to, like, get good rotations and ganks. But I think if you're getting boots later, which is totally, like... totally reasonable with Janna because she's already fast, I'd probably just get more combat-oriented boots. Either Ionians or, if you're really scared of the Kha'Zix or the brand, you could even get, like, Tabby or Merc Treads. But yeah, I mean, it used to be, like, Vayne was probably the best one with it. Kog'Maw was actually really good with it, too. And, Varus. I never really liked it on Teemo. I don't like attack speed on Teemo. I mean, I'm not a Teemo expert, but I think that the best Teemo builds are typically like Ludens, Leandries, AP type of builds. Maybe a Nashor's in there, maybe, but like... I think Ludens, Leandries is what you want to, where you want to be a lot of the time. Nah, right, see, I think one thing that I've noticed too is, like you're using your tornado, like, you're trying to throw it too far and you're using it for, trying to use it offensively. You really got to save it to peel. Because there have been several times where you've tried to throw, like, almost a max range tornado. And, then they punished you for it. Like right there where you had to blow your ult when Kha'Zix jumped on you is because you threw a max tornado at a person who was pretty much already going to die. And there's been a cut, like right there, you're just throwing a random tornado at Brand walking by. Even if that hits him, it's not going to do anything, you know? Because like no one's in a position to capitalize on it. So you might do like 100 damage to him or something. You know, at 27 minutes of the game, it's not going to matter. So just, you know, just hold on to that tornado. Janna's really a reactive champ most of the time. Like, you're just not going to make plays with her. You know, occasionally you'll see the Janna, like, flash forward and ult and, like, blow people back into your team and stuff like that. But that's really, like, a mistake to try to do stuff like that a lot of the time. Like, sometimes it makes sense, but most of the time you're just peel and protect. You know, you're not... you're not really going to do a lot of offense as Janna, and that's fine. So yeah, you just want to make sure you're holding on to that tornado. Well, I mean, that's true to an extent, John, but there's always stuff you can point out and you can work on. I mean, I think a couple of things that, you know, productive things that we've seen are, you know, just maybe some better spacing in team fights. Letting dead allies die. You know, like, not overcommitting to people that are really far out of position. You know, just like throw a shield and run if you're going to do anything at all. And, you know, holding the tornado for peel situations. So, that's why, I mean, you really only need a few things, though, you know what I mean? Like... you know, you don't need, like, 50 things, because it's just kind of overload. It's like when I'm commenting on student essays and things like that, I've learned over the years, like, I used to just fill it up with comments, you know, like 10 comments per page and things like that. And it's like, people just aren't going to read all that, you know? You just got to just focus on the major things, just a couple of, you know, maybe 1 or 2 comments per page, most pages, and that's it. I'm almost positive that most students don't even read the comments on the essays. My wife's been telling me this for years. She's like, honey, you spend way too much time on those comments. She's like, nobody's even going to read all that. I'm like, but, it's like some students might. But if they want more comments, they can just ask you for more comments. I don't know. I'm kind of getting sidetracked here, but The point is, I think there's stuff we could look at. I guess I could see an argument for Mikhail's here if you use it really well. Like, it is good against Ashe, but maybe Redemption, like, I don't know. I'd probably get Redemption to help you out against, like, Brand. And just, Redemption also has, like, semi-global reach. I mean, realistically, it's not going to matter which items you get in this game, probably, but I think if this was a closer game, Redemption might be a little better. Okay, so biggest things, exhaust is not bad. You could think, but I think that I like barrier or ignite better. If you want to go for, like, I'm just gonna survive, if they have a lot of all-in, if you're scared of Kha'Zix, they don't have that much stuff that you can't fix with positioning as Janna. Like, they really shouldn't be able to hit you with that much of what they have. But the Kha'Zix is spooky. So if you're scared of Kha'Zix, I would probably just do barrier. You know, exhaust is okay, but once again, you know, you're not going to be able to exhaust Brand. He's going to do a ton of damage to you, potentially. You're not going to be able to exhaust the Garen ult. Kha'Zix might, you know, do 80% of your health to you from invisibility before you even can exhaust him. And that's another thing about barrier, is you always get full value out of it if they're all-inning you, right? So if Kha'Zix, you know, jumps over a wall and just blows you up for like 80% of your health, and then you exhaust, the exhaust is only going to be effective for the last 20% of your health, right? So if you go from like 1,000 health to 200 health, that exhaust is only going to block, you know, maybe the equivalent of like 80 damage or something, right? It's going to reduce like 40% of the 200 health that you have left. Versus barrier, even if you're at 1 HP and you press barrier, you still get the full shield, right? You're still getting like the 300 shield. So I think barrier's better if they open on you with a lot of burst or range champions. It's on a lower cooldown. The obvious downside is you can't like help your AD carry with barrier. It's just for you. But if you stay alive, you have other tools that can help your AD carry. You've got shields, tornadoes, ults, all of that stuff to help them out. So that's why in general, on Soraka definitely, and maybe on Janna, depending on the matchup, barrier. Ignite would have been good early too, but you guys did a lot better in lane for at least a little bit until that Shen goof up. Y'all did a lot better in lane than I thought you were going to do in this matchup. Okay, so that's one thing to kind of think about. Not getting baited by Shen. Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Not getting baited by Shen. You know, that just takes small trades. That was one thing early on where y'all kind of overcommitted to a couple of trades. Like, when you got the W level 1 and you got a couple of auto attacks in there and she ran away, that's fine. You know, you did 50% of her health, just let it go. But once you're out of cooldowns, you got to back up pretty quickly. So, yeah, overcommitting to that. You guys, it did end up getting kills off of that, but when they traded back on you, that was rough. Like, they forced you to burn the summoners. So, yeah, just being careful with Shen. Just work on your positioning a little bit. You know, try to stay further back, stay max range on that shield. It's 800 range on the shield. So, you know, hit people if they're close, but try to always reposition and get further back. And just kind of respect ranges. Because there were a couple of times where Shen would, I think Shen in the mid lane actually double taunted you and the AD carry. And a lot of that was because you were closer to the Ashe than you needed to be. If you would have been like spaced out a little bit more, if you would have been spaced back, he probably wouldn't have been able to get that angle to double taunt. So yeah, just try to stay relatively max range as much as you can in a lot of situations. I didn't see a lot of opportunities for rotations. There were probably some that were in there, but you know, like every lane was pretty much getting crushed the entire time. Holding the tornado, we mentioned that. Just not trying to use it max range just for a little bit of poke damage. Like, you need to do it to try to peel either Shen or Kha'Zix most of the time. So just holding onto that cooldown a bit more. That was about it. I think a lot of it was pretty good. It was just those couple of things. And frankly, this was going to be a really hard game to win anyways because every lane was losing and your jungler was losing. So this is one of those where, you know, it's going to be difficult to win in general. Yeah, I mean, everyone is getting blasted. So this is one of those games where you're probably going to lose anyways most of the time. But there's still stuff you can kind of learn and work on. Because if the game was closer, like, those issues can, you know, cause you to lose closer games, right? If you're too close, if you're mispositioned, if you're not holding your tornado for peel, you know, all of that stuff can cause you to lose some more games. But anyways, that's gonna excuse me, that's gonna be it. The stream's gonna continue. That's it for the coaching session. If anyone wants to watch any more coaching sessions, when I release this, I'll probably release it in about a week. I've got a backlog of coaching sessions. I'm trying to release one per day to get caught up. But if you want to watch more coaching sessions, there's over 200 in a playlist you can flip through. I've got the champion on the thumbnail. It's really easy to see champions you might want to learn a little bit more about. So check those out. And if you want to do coaching yourself, it's just $25 on stream. Just let me know and then email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'll do a coaching session just like this for you. And then I will turn it into a video, put it in that playlist. You can always go back and watch it anytime you want. You can also commission guides. If you want to know more about macro, micro, certain items, certain champions, anything that's topical, then I can do those as well. And I'm trying to release more guides over time. But if you have a special one in mind or you just want to support the channel, just $30 for a guide, $25 if you're a member, and I'll research it really well, make a good in-depth video for you. But that's going to be it. Stream's going to continue, but coaching session's over. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.